Welcome to The Other Side of the Bridge with Iron City Paranormal, where they discuss real investigations, first-hand experiences, unexplained moments, and everything that happens when you step off the regular path and onto the other side of the bridge. Just honest paranormal talk, Iron City Paranormal style. And now, here are your hosts, Derek Smith and Dan Metelsky.
And Aaron Ponter.
Hello.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to The Other Side of the Bridge with Iron City Paranormal. We have a wonderful show tonight, but we have questions first. Have we ever thought about memories not being so much tied to individuals, but towns themselves and the locations within them? What do you guys think of it? What do you guys think about that?
I mean, for me, it's all about the energy. So you have so much in this small location. You have the imprints. You have everything stuck there that's just stagnant, not moving, especially in smaller towns, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot can come from that. I mean, you talk about buildings have a memory. Why can't a town?
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Yeah, absolutely. Aaron, you agree? Or what are you thinking?
Oh, no. Yeah, I think it's interesting to think about like in energies within certain places being so large that they start connecting and like mingling with energies in other places, right? Like that's such a cool thing to think about.
So Derek and I went to Waterford, Pennsylvania several years ago. How long has it been, Derek, since we were there at the Judson House the first time? It's been a while.
4?
Has it been 4 years?
3 years, 4 years, something like that. Yeah. It's been too long. Put it that way.
So we investigated the Judson House in Waterford, PA. And when I tell you this town has a feeling to it, that is not doing it justice.
Right. Absolutely.
Right? And like, no offense to the people from Waterford. I've never heard of Waterford, PA, and I've lived here my entire life, and when we went there, the phenomenal thing about it was you find that we are only a short drive away from some place that holds such an amazing history to it, besides the paranormal ties. And like, we'll get into that kind of stuff, but just the history that lives less than 2 hours from Pittsburgh in a drive. That to me was just incredible that I had gone at that point 34 years and had no idea it existed.
Well, you even bring it up to people. We talk about this town so many times just because of all the things that have happened, all the different locations here and the history that goes back, since the start of America, and nobody's ever heard about it. Where are you talking about? Where is this at? Like, yeah. And it's that close, it's
Wow.
It's incredible. You pull up, you step out of your car and you can just feel it. You're somewhere else.
Mm-hmm. So tonight we have a really special guest with us, who has become a friend of Iron City Paranormal. We've done 2 investigations in Waterford, the Eagle Hotel that I was not available for at the time, which we're going to be going to in the next few months here.
You're in for a treat.
I'm excited. So I've done the Judson House. We've covered the doll moving there, but our guest tonight is actually a leading member of the Fort LeBoeuf Historical Society. Her name is Heidi Longstreet. By day, she's a senior real estate records clerk at the Register of Wills. By night, she's a member of the Fort LeBoeuf Historical Society. She's a coordinator at the Judson House. She's an Erie County historian, where she focuses primarily on Erie and Waterford. She's a genealogist, member of the ESGR, which is the Erie Society for Genealogical Research. And she's also a paranormal researcher,
because why not?
Right up our alley. So here we are. Let's bring to the stage a Heidi Longstreet.
Hi.
Hey, Heidi.
Hey, Heidi.
Did I do you enough justice?
You sure did. But you said real estate. I'm not in real estate. I'm in
estate records. I apologize.
Right. I'm the estate clerk. So I deal with everyone who dies in Erie County.
Which
set up
makes
their
it that
estates.
much more interesting.
I know.
And I was going to say, why not?
I do
So it's actually
all day at work, and then I
it's
do
actually
this.
it's actually extremely on topic then, this little banner that I had up here for just such an occasion.
It's like you were ready for it.
Oh, I knew I'd be wrong at some point reading this.
I was just
I-
impressed that you got the genealogical research out.
Oh, trust me.
I do a lot of that.
I stumbled over every syllable of that word. Heidi, thank you very much for joining us.
You're welcome. This is fun.
Yeah, we enjoy it. This is our 20th episode. If you
Oh wow.
So we're kind of finally hitting our stride. It's been quite the uphill slug. We've
Finally getting the hang of it.
Yep.
been finally getting our legs stretched out. So we want to start with the history of Waterford, just because there is so much of it, right? And then we'll of course
There's a lot.
on the paranormal side, but let's start with the historical part of it. So for people that aren't familiar with Waterford, how do you describe it for the people that are spending the first few days in Waterford?
It's a small town. Most people know each other. Everybody in town talks about the spirits that are in their houses because the entire town has activity. It's an old town. It was founded in 1795, but the history of it goes back even further than that. When George Washington came there in 1753, it was his very first mission when he came to Fort LeBoeuf. The French were there even earlier than that. So we do have some history of when the French came there. When they came to build their fort, over 200 soldiers died, mostly of dysentery disease. As they were coming down Route 97, which is now Route 97, they were just dropping off. They were dying. And they would just bury them real quick and keep on going. So there's a lot of people that are buried on that road, both sides of the road. We don't even know how many. There was a lot. And a lot died at the fort. Let's see. So then George Washington comes there, 1753. He tells them that they need to leave. It's British territory. You got to go. They didn't leave at first, but they did eventually leave. And when they did leave, they burnt the fort down. And that was, what was that, 1759. So then in 1760, the British came in and they built their fort on top of the ruins of the old French fort. Then there was the Indian uprising, and the Indians came and they burnt down the British fort. Then the land it sat there empty for quite a while. Then the Americans came in and built their fort. So there was 3 forts on the site. The Judson House and the Eagle Hotel are built where that fort was. It's built right on top of it. We have a lot of activity. I'm not even sure who's there. I mean, I've seen a lot, heard a lot, but you've got French soldiers, British soldiers, American soldiers, all the people that live there, and the Indians. There were Indian burial mounds all over. And when the settlers came in after they settled the town, they got rid of a lot of them. You know, it was farmland. They just plowed right over these things. We know where a couple of them were. We don't know what they did with these Indians once they dug them up. I have no idea. Maybe a mass burial somewhere. Who knows? I have no idea. They could have thrown them in the lake. We don't know what they did with these Indians.
Probably nothing respectful, right?
Yeah,
At
right.
that point.
That's probably safe to say.
Right. Well, some of the first people that came after Waterford was established were people that were from Fort Freeland. There was the Fort Freeland massacre. It was really bad. And the Indians killed a lot of the people. They took some prisoner up into Canada. Some they just let go. But the people that ended up surviving this Fort Freeland massacre are the first settlers of Waterford. So when they came, they probably didn't care what happened to the Indians. You know,
Right.
they saw their
That's
loved
true.
ones getting killed right in front of them, you know.
I get it.
And when they were building the town, when they were digging up for to make the basements for their homes, they were digging up human remains everywhere. They didn't. Each one of these forts had a cemetery. They didn't know where they were. They had no idea where people were buried. So they built the town on top of cemeteries. So they're digging up all these human remains.
Like, what a way to make an entire town haunted, right? I mean, it's like if you have, it's like what was that Poltergeist or something? The movie with where the coffins are coming up out of the swimming pool.
Yep.
Like that's when the first time we were there and you were telling us all of this before our investigation. That's what I could think of. It was just like. Because you were talking about like the fact, and I hope that you'll get to this, I'm sure, but like the bones settling out of the roads and everything else, like that just like all I could think was that scene where the coffins are coming up and then these giant like skeleton things are coming out. Like that is kind of Waterford.
Yeah.
Like so at its core.
You prepared for the investigation just imagining these bodies popping up out of the ground. Is that
it seemed to be good, right? Like it like got me mentally prepped for it. And I think it's phenomenal. So I love this picture, and I apologize. Like I said, I talk too much, Heidi, but this picture of Fort LeBoeuf just goes so far to show that these two locations that we've investigated, the Eagle Hotel and the Judson House, are smack dab in the middle of this fort.
Mm-hmm.
So
and there's people all around the fort too. It wasn't like the soldiers were just in the fort perimeter. There were houses that were outside there.
Sure.
It's just the whole town is creepy. It really is. It's like they checked off everything to make a town haunted. Let's see, what can we do? Oh, let's build it on top of burial mounds. Yeah. Oh wait, there's Indian burial mounds. Let's desecrate.
What else can we do?
What's the worst that could happen, right?
And then on top of that, they paved the roads, the dirt roads, with the old cemetery. There was an old cemetery and a new cemetery. The old cemetery was getting really bad. Kids stole headstones. And this is 1883. It was flooding a lot. It was just a mess. So the town decided to move that cemetery into the old cemetery. Yep, and there it is. That's the last of the headstones that survived from the old cemetery. So they put them in the new ones. Well, this is August of 1883. It's probably hot, lots of mosquitoes down there. And these are just guys with shovels that are digging up these graves. They don't know exactly where everybody is. I'm sure they tried their best, but it was a mess. The newspapers had talked about this, and they talked about what a mess this was. They didn't get every last bit of the human remains that were in that cemetery. But they needed the dirt in there to fill in the potholes and to grade the dirt roads down. So what was left, they dug up and they paved the streets with it. The older people would talk about how you would find pieces of human bone in the road, broken jewelry, stuff like that. So on top of everything else, they paved the roads with cemetery dirt and some human remains.
Imagine being a kid back then, just walking the streets and picking that kind of stuff up. Yeah. I can't even picture that. I mean, that's wild.
Yeah, I know.
So is the center of town, was where the Judson and the Eagle, is that considered the center of town for Waterford?
Well, the center would be High Street, where all the businesses are. That's the center, because just past the Judson and the museum, that's going to be the township.
Okay. So
the borough
is that area the most paranormally active that you're aware of, or is it kind of spread equally?
Oh yeah, no. In fact, all of High Street, all those businesses on High Street have things going on in them.
Okay.
I remember just talking to some of the people from the Historical Society, Heidi, when you had us up. I mean, it seems like there's a story for every building. Everybody has something. You step into that building, that's there's spirit here. There's something haunted here. There's something going on here. I mean, it seemed like it was everywhere. I mean, everywhere you turned.
And even not even just like in the borough, like outside of it, people will tell you. I mean, I've had a lot of people come into the Judson to talk to me, and they'll tell me about the stuff that goes on in their houses. And it's pretty crazy stuff. But I think everybody likes their ghosts there. Everybody likes spirits. There's nobody that's really terrified. I only know of one person that was actually scared enough where he moved.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah,
Wow.
he moved. It was funny because I met this guy. I went to a friend's house, and this guy was there, and we were talking. And I said, "Yeah, I'm going to Waterford tonight because I got ghost hunters coming." And he's like, "Waterford?" Because I used to live there. I won't live there anymore. And he told me where the house was. I won't tell anybody where this house was, just because I don't know who's living there now. Might not like it.
Yeah.
Sure.
But he said when he moved in there a few years ago, one night he woke up and he heard kids. They were running around and playing. He thought it was outside. And he realized the noise was coming from his basement. He opens up the basement door. It stops. Well, this kept going on. His wife experienced it. His daughter experienced it. But what really ended him living in this house was he's laying in bed with his wife. He's watching TV. And there was a staircase outside his door. He could see the staircase. And he said 6 people walked up the stairs, walked into his room. They walked around the bed and they were looking at him and his wife. And then they turned around and walked back out and back down the stairs. He said that was it. He was done. He's like, I got to move. He's only running.
So they never like interacted with him or tried to hurt him or chase him.
Nope.
He just
They
didn't
just
like
walked in, surrounded his bed, looked at him, turned around and walked back out and down the stairs.
Man, before that story, I was gonna say it's like everybody has a pet ghost there, right? But not there.
Yeah, he didn't like it. Everybody else that I talked to really liked the spirits in their house.
See, I like to hear that because I'm gonna be honest with you, people that run away from this stuff, and maybe we're just weird, right? Because I'm sure we are, because we're doing paranormal investigations. But like and maybe I'm hanging out with Derek too much, but like now, if I had 6 people walk into my bedroom, or at least if we were there and saw 6 things walk into a room with us, we're gonna follow it. We're gonna try to talk to it, right? We're not gonna run away from it.
You know, my first question: did you get it on camera?
Oh man, that's the truth. That's the truth.
Yeah, I think most people, they like them and they don't want them to leave. They actually like them there. I kind of like the spirits in the Judson House. Sometimes it's spooky, and then sometimes I can't. Like, I got to go walk outside. Sometimes it's just too much. But I actually like them there. Sometimes I actually feel like comforted. Like if I'm there alone, I'm more afraid of the living person coming in the front door than these ghosts. And
there's something to be said about that. Absolutely.
Yeah, if some bad character walked in that house, I think I'd be okay. I think something would happen that I would be all right. Like those ghosts would take care of me. I just feel that. It just feels like that.
Before you said that too, my first thought was there's a certain comfort level with that when you're around it all the time, and you're settled with it and you like them being there. You're comfortable with that situation. Yeah,
and I think they like all of us because we're not trying to get rid of them or being mean to them or anything.
Yeah, the respect factor, right?
Yeah, and most of the time, if you ask them a question, you'll get an answer back. You'll get an EVP, which is a lot of EVPs in the Judson House.
So we've had a lot of crazy stuff happen there.
Yeah, ask a question, get an answer.
And so we've done a couple episodes just recently. The one was stuff that wanted us to leave, right? Like whole locations around just things that asked us to leave actively. And then the most recent episode has been like places that have been afraid of us, right? That where we go in, like, especially like when kids are involved. And then Derek and I, before Aaron was with us to soften our edges, so to speak, like kids were intimidated by 2 guys coming in and talking to them. And then they'd take a while to get warmed up. I can honestly say, like the Judson, like I said, I have not been to Eagle and I can't wait to get in there, but Judson, like I never felt like there was something timid there. I never felt that there was something dangerous there. I just felt like it wanted to talk.
Yeah. In the one room though, we do have a guy, I call him Grumpy Guy, because he's
okay.
Just, he's evil. There's nothing demonic, but he's just like he'll set you in your place, like he wants to be left alone right now.
Sometimes a place needs that though.
Yeah, he's just grumpy. It's Grumpy Guy up there.
It's like Grumpy Cat, but a ghost.
Grumpy Cat, yeah.
I like that. So we have a photo of the Judson House. I don't think we've shared that previously. So this is the location, and correct me if I'm wrong, Heidi. This most of this first floor, what part of this building is original?
This is all original, but
It's all
the
original.
first
Okay.
that was built was 1810, and that's the little part on the right side. Then the bigger 2-story was, well, the original was 1810, and then the 2-story on the left was built in 1820.
Okay.
Amos Judson built the house. He was one of the first people to come and settle in Waterford. He was a very wealthy man, never married, didn't have any children, but he was very close to his family. His 2 brothers also lived in Waterford, and they had kids, and they were in his house a lot. Let's see here. He lived with his niece Eunice. When he died, and I've got the newspaper articles talking about this, when he died, he had his funeral in the parlor. And then when she died, she also died in the house and had her funeral in the parlor. She had her sister move in with her, and her sister's husband, who was Strong Vincent's uncle, if you know who Strong Vincent is from Gettysburg. So her sister and her sister's husband also lived there. Both of them also died in the house and had their funerals in the parlor. So I know of 4 people that have died in the house.
And you said they all make appearances at times for investigators. Are there ones that come back more often, or are they making themselves like known to investigators?
Oh.
Did we lose Heidi?
I think we may have lost her.
Uh-oh, she's frozen. Well, while we try to get Heidi back,
she's coming.
Yeah, I see it. So this location really started our I don't want to call it a love affair, but I will call it a love affair just for funsies, right? Like we have just become so infatuated with not only
I got
this.
knocked offline.
Oh, you back?
You're back.
There she is.
It's okay.
I don't know what happened.
Maybe the ghosts heard us talking about them, because we've had that happen on previous podcasts where Derek would talk about them.
Yeah, that's true. My computer blew up once.
Yep. It did.
I don't know why. I'm even plugged in.
Yeah, it's okay.
It's just the luck. Things happen on the show.
Like really weird.
This is what happens when you start messing with the paranormal.
I don't know what happened. That shocked me. What were we talking about now?
So we were just talking about the Judson House in general, but I had asked right when you went frozen and you had like no look on your face, which was like, what spirits in the Judson House are most prominent that make themselves known mostly to paranormal teams? Are there specific ones?
Yeah.
Or to you?
I know that there's at least 1 man, 1 woman, and 1 child. There could be more. I know there's a child in that house. I don't know if it's a boy or girl, 1 of each, 2 boys. I have no idea. I know there's at least 1 woman in there and at least 1 man, grumpy guy, but there could be more. I don't know who they are. Have no idea. I've tried figuring it out. I've done a lot of research on that house. I'm hoping that the ghost hunters that come can get some names for me. I'm always like wanting names. And they'll come up with names that are way off base of what I know. Because I've gone through the census and the property deeds. I work at the courthouse, so I have access to all these records. So I'm always researching. I don't know who these ghosts are. No clue.
And this is why, like, when we work with somebody that's tied directly to a historical society, this is where we find the most value as a team, when we can get validation of the names that we're getting.
Yeah.
Right. It might not be like in the moment, oh, that name is this person, or that was the name of this person's cat's uncle or whatever, But like at the end of the day, like if we can provide a name and then the historical society can come up and say, oh, this is actually somebody, and it's not just just anything coming out of midair. It actually reinforces what we're doing quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's that validation factor to it. And then we like to think that then that helps other groups or the historical society itself,
Right.
Whether it does or not is a different story, but that's where we like to think.
Yeah, I know. I know a lot of the history of Waterford and the Judson and the Eagle. So I'm always waiting for somebody to come up with one of those things that nobody else knows, because I haven't I've done so much research and I haven't.
She froze again.
She froze again.
It's okay. So we're up against the ad break anyway, so it's kind of good timing here.
Thank you, Ghost.
So we're gonna take a very short 3 or 4 minute break. Hopefully by that time Heidi's ghosts allow her to talk to us again. But either way, we will be back after a short ad break. We'll get right back into it.
Every ghost story and creature feature lies a far more terrifying truth. The real monsters wear human faces. In the chilling book, All Monsters Are Human, from Derek Smith, 10 Twisted Tales expose the darkest parts of the human soul. From killers hiding in plain sight to obsessions turned deadly, each story invites you to step into a shadowed world where morality unravels, and the only thing more terrifying than what lurks in the dark is who. These aren't just horror stories. They're reflections of ourselves, showing what happens when fear, rage, guilt, and desire take control. Visit unexmedia.com for more information on All Monsters Are Human from Derek Smith. And you can purchase them at amazon.com from unexmedia.com. The truth, it's out there, and it's waiting for you. The Unexplained Network is your source for the best in paranormal programming, live video streaming, and audio streaming from hauntings, UFOs, Bigfoot, cryptids, and the ever-expanding realm of the unexplained. Listen live or on demand now on Spreaker, Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeart, and Pockets all over the World Wide Web. The Unexplained Network, where unexplained lives. The new book, How to Research a Haunted House by paranormal investigator Margie Kay and professional researcher Violet Wisdom, is now available from Unex Media. This one-of-a-kind book explains how to do research on a house with uncommon methods and resources used by historic home researchers, and how to determine who may be doing the haunting and why. How to research a haunted house can be used by homeowners, renters, investors, and it should be in the library of all professional paranormal investigators. Get this unique book at unexmedia.com or amazon.com. That's unexmedia.com or amazon.com.
Okay, thanks for sticking with us. Heidi, we finally have you back.
Oh my gosh, I don't know what's going on. I'm on my phone now.
We couldn't tell. It's looks good. Can you hear us okay?
I hear you, yep.
Great.
All right.
So we wanted to talk the one last thing on the Judson House before we transition over to the Eagle.
Okay.
What is the scariest thing, or even not even the scariest, but like what was the most impactful thing from a paranormal from the paranormal side that you've had happen to you while being in the Judson House? Do you have any?
Oh, let me think. I mean, just a couple things. One time I was in there alone and I heard somebody upstairs hollering out my name. I was out the front door.
Not unsettling at all.
You know, like, this is retarded. I gotta get back in there. That was a little unnerving because I knew I was alone in there. Another time I had walked in there and I was alone and I was in the dining room standing by the fireplace and I could hear somebody upstairs right above me walking like they were pacing the room. I knew nobody else was in the house but me. Let me think. There's been so many things. Some things need like an explanation as to what happened. One time I was in there with other historical society members, and there was 3 of us in the parlor, and there was 3 people upstairs. What we heard was it sounded like somebody actually fell down the staircase. So of course we're all like running towards the staircase, you know, are you all right? Are you all right? And the people upstairs are hollering down at us the same thing. Are you guys all right? It's like the noise
No
came from
kidding.
upstairs. Let me fell down the stairs or something. And they're like, no, that's not what happened. And we finally realized that one of the books about the Civil War is about yay thick. The thing's huge. And it was on a shelf on one side of the room, and it was now in the middle of the room. So that was a little strange. I don't know how that happened because that book is heavy and it made a lot of noise getting over there. There was a time when I had some ghost hunters over there, and it was Christmas time, and the Garden Society had decorated one of the trees in the dining room, and it was so cute. It had all these teacups and saucers on it all around. And what they did was they bent the branches over them to hold them in real tight on the tree. And we're in the Judson for a while. We all decided to go over to the Eagle Hotel. We come back over, and what's in the middle of the dining room floor but a teacup and a saucer?
Oh man.
Wow.
We figured out
Wow.
where on the tree it should have been, and all the branches were sticking out, like if somebody had pulled them all out. That was a little strange.
Oh, wow.
And of course, nobody had any cameras in there, you know.
That's how it works.
So does stuff move a lot at the Judson House?
No, not that much. There's only been a few times when things have moved. It's mostly you hear it. EVPs are crazy in the house. The basement, you might get tugged on your clothes. Somebody might hit you in your back. You get that a lot in the basement.
So dolls moving isn't the norm, right?
No. Right. Or having that book flying across the room. That's not the norm. Yeah, it's mostly sounds. You hear them, you know they're there. You know, it's like if you're standing in line, like at the grocery store or something, and you feel somebody staring at you, and you look over, and sure enough, somebody is staring at you. Well, their eyeballs aren't touching you, but you can feel them looking at you.
Oh, yeah.
It's that way in there too. You know,
I feel
you're
like
being watched.
as soon as you step foot in that building, that's how it
Mhm.
feels.
Yep, you know,
I mean,
you're
it's
being
almost like
watched.
someone's looking at you from above. You know,
Yep.
that's how it feels.
Always like that in there.
Aaron, I can't wait to get you in there with us because
I'm
it'll
really
be
interested in this. I'm very excited. Yeah.
it'll be so.
You guys have been
interesting to
talking
have
about this
somebody
place
in
for
there.
so long. I'm so excited to get in there and see what you guys are talking about.
It's a little creepy.
It
The town
really
itself is real
is.
nice.
That's what I'm getting
Very
from this whole
historic.
conversation. Yeah.
It's like, oh, I put that together.
I'll be interested to see what you think about the Eagle, Dan, because I was there without you, and that was
Yes.
it was interesting. That basement is creepy. I'll tell you that.
The Eagle gives me the creeps. And it's
Okay.
if you're
I'm
alone
gonna-
or just two people in that building, yeah, it don't feel right.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, I don't get the same sensations when I'm physically at these locations. Like, I just get a much stronger draw to the Judson House than I do the Eagle. But like, based on what Derek told me after, like, with the investigation that him and some other people had done there, like I said, I am so excited to go here because it just seems like there's so many layers to this place.
I've done a lot of research on that hotel. A lot of people have died in that hotel.
Really,
Travelers just passing through. Oh yeah.
like
a lot of
actually
people.
documented deaths. How many do you
Mhm.
think there are?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't like sat down and tried counting them. And I'm sure a lot of them didn't hit the newspapers because I find a lot of them in the old
Sure.
newspapers as I'm going through. And it's like, oh, this traveler came through and he was buying apples and decided to go and buy apples. And then he has a stroke at the store and they take him to the Eagle and he dies in there. You know, just some bizarre
So
stuff.
not even just guests that were staying there, but people in the town that like that
Mhm.
was just a place that they brought them to.
Right. Because there wasn't a hospital.
Right.
They take him to the Eagle Hotel.
It was a bed.
Right. And beside the Eagle Hotel, where the George Washington statue is right now, was the American fort, the American blockhouse. And they made that into a hotel too. So it was kind of attached to the Eagle Hotel.
That would have been right next door, pretty much, right?
Right
I
next
mean,
door. Right. So anytime something happened, they take them there. The first person to actually die in Waterford after it was Waterford was this boy. His last name was Rutledge. Him and his father were scalped by Indians up in Erie. And his father died in Erie, and they took the boy down here to Fort LeBoeuf, and they took him in there, and that's where he died. We don't know where he's buried.
Wow.
But that's where they took people, because, they didn't have a hospital.
Yeah. What else did you do?
Yeah.
So is this the basement?
Yes. Oh, yes.
Oh man.
I
That's
told
the
you it was
stairs
creepy.
down the basement. Yeah. There's all those
So
little rooms down there. It's creepy.
Will you go down here by yourself, Heidi?
I have, but during the day. I do it
Yeah.
at night. What's funny? I mean, I've gone ghost hunting myself. I'm with the Historical Society. I've been in these buildings all the time, and I'm still creeped out. We all are. I know some of the men that will not go in the basement of the Judson House. Men in the Historical Society, they won't go down there.
It was just, I remember going down the stairs. It was just like a whirlwind of energy and emotion. It just hit you.
Right.
Couldn't even put a finger to it. It was just there, like a wall.
Yeah.
Like I keep staring at this photo because I'm so drawn to it for some reason, but I can't answer why.
You're just waiting to
I'm
see a
trying not
shadow
to
at the
look
bottom.
the photo because it looks
Are you really?
very uncomfortable. Yeah. Uh-huh.
What's the worst? Like, what is the thing that makes you most uncomfortable looking at it, Aaron?
The abyss down there. Just the dark. Yeah. It is just
Swallows you.
yeah.
Oh man, I can't wait. I can't wait to get there. Like, I'm
So,
Aaron's
so
creeped
we
out.
all
You're
know,
excited.
when we walk down these stairs, I claim the middle spot. One of you can go in front of me. One of you can go behind. I'm going right in the middle.
I don't know, Aaron. You got to take the pictures
Did that
first, and you got to do the walkthrough by yourself. So
Nope, absolutely not.
We'll
not
send
sure
Heidi
if I-
down with you.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm not sure if I told you the story about James Briggs, the man who accidentally strangled himself to death down there. Did I tell you about this story?
Oh,
I'm
not that
think
I've
so.
ever heard. So please, I don't care if Derek heard. Let's hear it.
Well, there was a garage that was attached to the back. And I found this newspaper article talking about this man, James Briggs. And for some reason, I don't know why, he went to go to sleep in the basement and he accidentally strangled himself to death. You'd have to read the article. It's bizarre.
yeah, it sounds like
in
it.
this day and age,
Yeah.
they would not say that. There would be a big investigation on it.
Sure.
Okay.
So I kind of
So
wonder about him.
Did it seem suspicious, or was it?
Yeah, if you read the article,
Okay.
and then it talks about how he was this esteemed Waterford person. Oh, people loved him. He had 10 children. So I'm looking him up like, okay, who is this guy? His 10 children are living in Jamestown, New York. They're not even with him. His oldest child is taking care of all the younger ones. So here he is alone. His wife had died. I don't know if he was just, a hobo. I don't know.
Sure.
Like, why did he choose to sleep down there and accidentally strangle himself? How do you accidentally strangle yourself?
That's what I was just gonna say. How is that? How do you do that accidentally?
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had some nights where I was, tipping the bottle pretty bad. I don't think I could have got drunk enough to do that. Apparently he did.
I mean,
So,
I
yeah.
had some stupid people back in high school that would try to strangle themselves, but it never worked out.
Right.
So, what's the most prominent individual that is known to be here still? Have you gotten any repeat names from different teams or anything?
I don't know if I should say, because some people like to go in there and get the names themselves. They don't want to be, led into knowing names. You know what I mean? I don't know if anybody really wants to know.
We respect
completely
that. Yeah.
respect that because that's the way we like to do things.
Yeah.
But it's just like,
Because if I gave a name, then every investigator is going to come up with that name.
no, you're absolutely true.
Yeah,
And,
that's
and,
how
there,
it
and
goes.
there's some unusual names. So I'm always waiting for an investigator to give me this unusual name.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
So what's your favorite way of doing things, Heidi? Do you like being there when investigations are taking place so that the teams can interact with you directly throughout the night and let you know what they're getting?
Because I'm part of the Historical Society, I have to be there because somebody from the Historical Society has to be there when ghost hunters are there. Okay.
Gotcha.
I don't care. You can do whatever you want with me. I can go hide in the corner and play Pokemon Go all night because there's a lot of Pokestops and gyms around there. Or if you want to use me to see if they'll interact. And I've done both. And we've gotten stuff when I've been in the room with people. It depends. Whatever you guys want. Because if somebody's going to have a private investigation, that's your investigation. You know, those buildings are yours that night when you come in. And I don't want to be in your way unless you want me to. You're hoping I can sort something up.
I think we've had better experiences when people that are more acquainted with the place and the spirits there are more welcome or, you know, comfortable with somebody that we get better interactions because of that.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Especially for our first time at a location, right?
Sure.
Because they're just not used to us at all.
Right.
And they might be used to, in the sounds of it, you sounds like you have enough people going through there for investigations, right? They're used to the equipment, right? So it's not that they're so much afraid of the approach or the like what we're doing, but just their willingness and their trust in us might not be there, right?
Yeah.
So we've always had our investigations have kind of paid out, so to speak, a little bit more on repeat visits than they have like the initial walkthroughs, you know, the initial times. So we like whenever people are.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
Because I've had, you know, some groups that have come in quite a bit. And yeah, I think that they interact with you more because they know you now. You know?
Yeah, it just takes
especially
time.
Especially the child in the Judson House.
That probably depends who is there at that point. I mean,
right. Yeah. If you're good with kids, they're going to like you.
So something we talked about on one of our last episodes, this doll here. Heidi, I don't remember if you remember when we were there and this happened with us.
I remember that.
And naturally, there was no camera on it.
Of course.
Of course.
We never thought anything of this. And the only reason we have the top picture is that was from a still shot from the video of our walkthrough video that we always do. We never thought, like, you know, train equipment on this thing or these things, because there's multiples of them. We never thought to do that. And, you know,
that's the only time anything ever happened with one of the dolls.
I mean, that's incredible because it is just.
And that's one of the newer dolls that I got. It's an old doll, but I just got that just a few years ago. Some woman had donated it.
Okay.
That's just, it's crazy that's the only time that it's ever happened. And in that situation too, we look at that picture over and over again, and like that dress is laid on top of it. It's just so strange.
Right.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, because the dress was still on top of it, wasn't it? Correct. When it was moved. Yeah,
that's so matter-of-factly placed. Like it was not just haphazardly thrown there. I honestly think that whatever it or whoever it was that moved that doll cared enough for the doll that it made sure that the dress was still laying on it. Like that's what catches me so much about this. It wasn't like somebody just drug it to the bottom.
Right. The doll had two dresses. So we just had the second dress just kind of laying on top of it.
It's incredible to me. And we've had more recently, we at the Ross House in Ohio, we had another doll move on us during the night, but it moved from one side of the couch to the other side of the couch, and we didn't even have anything on that one either. Here we are. You'd think we'd learn our lesson and have something on this doll, but we didn't. And at the beginning of the night, we know for a fact that it was on the right side of the couch. And when we were putting things away, Erin had left for the night. She had to drive back, and Derek and I were picking up all of our stuff, and this doll was sitting on the opposite side of the couch. But
we're looking back at all the videos and pictures, like, wait a second.
But it was very much the same where it was like gently placed there. It was sitting
Mhm.
upright. It was still it looked pretty in its dress and everything else. Like, it wasn't just thrown there. It was like the dang thing stood up, walked across the couch, and sat back down. Like, it was bizarre.
So I know that at least we feel that Waterford as a town is haunted, right? Heidi,
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
are there any locations outside of the Judson and Eagle that are like hot spots that are drawn like that have that kind of energy or feel to it that you would
In Waterford?
Yeah.
In Waterford, the Waterford Hotel. I don't know if they allow investigations in there or not, but it's right down the street. I've heard a lot of creepy stories about that place. Most people's houses. Those other businesses on High Street, they all talk about stuff. But I would say
So
the
it's
Waterford
really
Hotel. Oh, and the
everywhere.
covered bridge. And the covered bridge.
Oh, okay. So it really is throughout the entire town then. I mean,
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely.
I love that about that town.
Oh, yeah. Everywhere. Even the cemetery. If you go into the cemetery and you walk through the old section of it, I feel like I'm drowning when I'm in there. I mean, I feel like I'm like wading in water up to my neck. It's hard to walk through that old section. Like, there's something there too. The covered bridge, of course, is occupied by the sheep man of Waterford. He goes down there. He lives on Baghdad Road, but then he goes down to the covered bridge. And if there's any like young lovers in there making out, he scares them away. Oh yeah, the sheep
And
man.
look
That is
at him.
creepy.
Half sheep, half man. I have talked to people who have sworn that they've seen this thing.
So you go from ghosts to cryptids. I mean,
Cryptid. And we don't have just one cryptid. We've got two. We've got the sheep man and we've got old mossback, this giant musky fish that lives in Lake LeBoeuf. There was a man named Reginald Exley that made the LeBoeuf creeper to try and catch old mossback. There's been newspaper articles written about this. There's a song made about old mossback. In fact, it's on YouTube. You can put in Old Mossback and Skiff, Skiff. It was the person who wrote the song. So you can actually hear the song of Old Mossback. Oh, yeah.
Isn't there a goat man around there too, or rumored
No,
to
just
be?
a sheep man. Just a sheep
Okay.
man. But I was interviewed in a book called Goat Man. Was it Flesh or Folklore, something like that? And I was interviewed in that about the sheep man of Waterford. It was all about goat men and sheep men.
Man, talk about a paranormal reputation, right? I mean,
No
it's
kidding.
everything.
Right.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So 2 cryptids and lots of ghosts.
What more do you want? I mean, in one town, that's quite a bit because it's not that big of a town, right? It's like,
I know.
Do you also have aliens there? That's the
Haven't had that yet. Now that's up in
Not
Erie
yet.
on Presque Isle. We haven't had the aliens yet. But so, you know, when I look at the history of the town, like what is haunting this? You've got 3 forts. There were cemeteries at all 3 forts. The town was built on top of those cemeteries. Then they dug up the old cemetery and put some of the remains in the new cemetery and then paved the streets with what was left. Desecrated Indian burial mounds. You know, it's like we checked off all the boxes on how to make a town haunted.
Yeah, what are you missing? Jeez.
Yeah. A lot of creepy stuff. There was a man, I kind of think this guy named Reader Moore is haunting High Street. This guy was a real piece of work. He fell in love with this girl, Miss Patterson, and he wanted to marry her. He said, please, you need to marry me. If you don't marry me, I'll kill myself. She says, I can't marry you. I already have this other guy. So what does he do? He pulls out a gun and he shoots himself right in the middle of High Street. So they took him and he says, I have to confess to this terrible crime that I committed. So they take him. Where do they take him? They know he's going to die. They take him to the undertaker's office. I couldn't believe this stuff when I was reading it in the newspaper. So they take him to the undertaker. They set him next to his casket that he's going to have because they know he's going to die. And he says, I have to confess to this crime. Here, what he had done was he raped this girl, left her out in the woods for dead, and then he set up another guy he framed him and has sent this guy to prison for like 20 years. So he was confessing to this to get this guy out of prison. Because, then he's feeling guilty and he knows he's dying. So then he dies. And we kind of wonder if, like, maybe his spirit doesn't know that his confession got this guy, Charles Stafford, out of prison or not. So we're kind of wondering if he's not on High Street.
I mean,
Makes sense because he doesn't know. He doesn't know if his confession got him out of jail or not. And that was a horrible thing to do. It was terrible what he did. He actually went and set this guy up, went to the police, said, hey, I know who did this to this girl, went to court and testified. How terrible. So I don't know.
Just keep topping it. I mean, just keep adding another layer in.
I know. And there's more. There's more could go on all night.
Well, and we could too. Trust me. I mean, it is.
That's kind of the consensus here.
It is so hard. It is so hard to sit with you for only an hour because we've spent hours with you talking about all of these things, and we could spend so many more.
So much stuff I've dug up. So much.
So
bizarre story.
So, what is the overall sense from the Historical Society and yourself as well about, like, how do you all feel about the paranormal aspect of Waterford and embracing that and having people come there to investigate?
Most of the Historical Society is for it.
Okay.
There are a couple that do not like it. We almost had to stop it a few years back. Oh, it was crazy. We had announced that we're going to stop all paranormal stuff because these few people were really getting on us. It was getting bad. And when that happened, the entire town was so mad. We had to have a meeting at the borough building, and a lot of the town showed up and they wanted the paranormal there. They like the stuff. They like the ghosts in their homes. They don't mind us having paranormal investigators. They like it. So there's really only a few people in town that don't like it. And they do want to respect their feelings too. Like, I really don't want to flaunt it in front of them, because I understand their beliefs, but most of the people, they don't mind it. They like it. They hope you find things.
You think about that mindset and aspect too. You're bringing people in, whether they're eating or, shopping or just learning about the town, that's all beneficial, I would think.
Oh, yeah. And the history. We got the museum next door. It's really cool in there, It's a nice place. It's a nice place to visit and a lot of history.
Yeah.
So,
anything else you want to know about?
There's so many things we want to know, we want to talk about. But in the last kind of waning minutes here, if we had one thing to, pass on to those that are watching that would be interested in coming to see Waterford, what would the quick 30-second sales pitch be for Waterford as far as coming and experiencing the paranormal, not only the paranormal, but the historical side of it.
The history of the place. The history of the place is really cool. There was a lot of people that passed through there. The United States wouldn't be the way it is today if it wasn't for Waterford, because we had the water, and you can go down French Creek and go all the way to the Gulf. So we had to have that open, especially for the salt trade. So, back in the 1700s, you either walked, rode horseback, or had, a buggy and horses. The fastest way was water, and we had that. And it goes right down the middle of the United States, and we had it there. It's hard to explain. Maybe you'd have to come there and see it and really experience it. But there's a lot of history there. And really, the United States would not be the way it is today if it wasn't for Waterford.
Well, and I
People
think
don't
that's the
realize that.
selling point right there. Like
Oh yeah, because people think
if
of
you don't know,
people always
come
think of-
see it.
people always think of Boston and Philadelphia and New York. They don't think of Waterford. It was so important.
Sure.
You know, we had to have that. We had to get the French out of there. You know, we had to establish ourselves there.
And I think you said it. You just have to see it. I mean, you
Oh,
have to be there. You have to visit it. And, I mean, that's the
Absolutely.
best way to do it.
Yeah, you got to see it. You got to see the layout. You got to feel it.
Mm-hmm. So
Oh, yeah.
Heidi, we are fresh out of time. So how do people set up visits? How to set people contact the Historical Society to set up not only investigations but tours? Where can people find you?
Get a hold of me. You can email me, which is Heidi, HEIDI 72562@msn.com. I'm usually pretty good with the emails. You can always text me too, which is 814-882-3562. I'm real good with text messages.
That makes it nice
Right.
and easy.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Oh yeah. Just text me. Tell me who you are. Yep.
Say
And
you heard about it on the other side of the bridge with Iron City Paranormal.
yeah.
Like and subscribe, smash that like button. Get out there.
Just had to do it.
I
Had to do it.
I'm sorry, Heidi. I have to do that every once in a while now. Like Derek said how much he hates when people do that, so I have to now do that.
Okay.
So Heidi, thank you very much for your time.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
We
Can't wait
really
to see you guys
appreciate it.
again.
Absolutely.
I know we're coming very
It's gonna be
soon. I know we appreciate your willingness to allow us to
Yep.
reschedule. So we're really looking forward to seeing
Oh
you.
yeah, no problem. And the Eagle Hotel, you know, is turning 200 years old. We're having a big celebration in a couple of weeks.
So what I'm
They're
hearing
old,
is
these are old buildings to investigate.
when we're there in a couple months, there will be cake, is what I'm hearing.
Okay. Right.
Well, Heidi, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Well, maybe it's the towns like Waterford that aren't haunted because something refuses to leave. Maybe they're haunted because history itself never truly disappears. Tonight, we cross the bridge into the history of the mysteries of Waterford, Pennsylvania. And as always, we're glad you joined us and made it back safe from the other side of the bridge. Thank you very much, everybody. Have a wonderful night.
Yep. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Toodles noodles. Bye-bye.